Welcome back to the Blue Review. Greg Bergman, the Big CY, and as always, the Blue Review is presented by Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. CY, 2 out of 3 for those Dodgers.
Yeah,
obviously needs more for the Dodgers. For the Padres.
Well, I was going to say, are we going to spend all day talking about a completely non-important series? I'm joking. I thought that what the big deal was for the Dodgers this weekend. First of all, they're at a point now where I think it's reasonable to say getting wins is getting wins. It's coming in different ways. The bullpen finally looks good, but they're not hitting well with runners in scoring position. That's still an issue in terms of their ability to score runs, and they've had to come back in a lot of wins, which is fine, but that's also a situation that makes you rely on the bullpen a lot more than we're used to for a team who believes that probably their staff is one of their biggest strengths. So yes, series win, important. As importantly, it happened on the road. I did not go to the game last night. I just did not feel like driving to San Diego, but they came out with a victory. And again, one of the things that we've been looking for from this team is consistency in terms of how they win. That's always been something that this Dodgers team took its pride in. They found a bunch of different ways. The homer was big this series.
It wasn't a manufactured runs type of series for them, which is totally fine. But there's a couple of things that you said in there that I like to talk about. So the bullpen, for one thing, it has looked much better. Yency Almonte looks really good. Sure. Caleb Ferguson has been looking much better. Victor Gonzalez coming up from the minors when he hasn't really been playing since 2021, I believe it was, starting to look good, starting to get through everything. And obviously, Evan Phillips is going to be Evan Phillips. The problem that they have are a couple of guys. So Alex Vesia already went down last week. Yeah. Phil Bickford is just right there where he's about to be sent down. And the biggest issue that we're having right now, and now he got away with it on Saturday, but Brusdar Graterol is a problem. This is a guy that is a absolute problem right now, where he's got too many guys on the bases. He is giving up too much contact. And for a guy that throws 102 miles an hour, he does not miss bats. And that's going to be an issue. He's always been that kind of guy, but he's going to get soft contact, but he's starting to give up the hard contact as well. And it's going to put him into a lot of trouble. So they're going to have to start figuring out what to do with that guy. He could be a problem.
For those of you wondering why that's an issue, saying, oh, well, they're winning games. Oh, well, the bullpen is a problem, is not the biggest issue necessarily. Well, because in the playoffs, the players are better. And if a guy's throwing 102 and you're not getting soft contact, well, then that's going to hinder your ability to beat an actual good team. That's not saying the Padres aren't a good team. What I'm saying is that the level of competition by default goes up in matters that are more important. And so if this is how he's managing to get it done now, that might not scale up to October, never mind potentially November if you're in the World Series. So yes, I totally agree with you. His stuff is great in the context of it gets to the triple digits, but these are big league hitters. If they know what's coming, or if they feel that they can catch up to it, well, their confidence isn't shaken just because of something on the radar gun. So I agree with you, but this is also a point where I think that this is why a guy like Dave Roberts is who you want, because you've assumed that he's been finding a way to get these guys to stay within their mental state, to at least be the best players they can. Bickford hasn't done so well with that. Graterol has, at least in different places, in different points of the bullpen, been remotely effective. This has been a story of this team for the last 3 seasons, is what's going on at the back of the staff when it comes down to try to win games. And so it's an ever-changing question, but it worked out well enough for them, especially against a team also that has a great bullpen in Hader, in their closer as well. They actually got to him. He was on a great streak before he ended up getting touched. So, they did what they do best, even if it's not what they do well. And they also touched what the Padres do best, which is how you beat an opponent 1-for-1. Take out their best part. In that particular case, it was the bullpen, and you have a chance. That happened twice.
And what's nice to see is that they got to Hader, because Hader, when he is going well, like you're talking about, he's almost impossible to hit. So this is also one of those things where maybe that now that you've hit him, he starts getting into his head, which we've already seen he can, especially last year. He can start to blow up.
Psychological
He's
factors
not the
matter
same
now.
guy.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
They always have.
What I'm saying, though, is don't forget this part, Greg. If you're facing Hader, it means you're down, and it means you're down late. So that's just something to keep in mind in terms of where that came from the Dodgers. Save situations is when Hader throws. And so they were down late a couple of times, managed to get some wins. I think that's probably the best part about this. Never mind the opponent specifically on the mound.
Yeah, no, so it makes a big difference. And they're going to go from one elite closer or semi-elite closer still at this point with Hader to a very real elite closer in Devin Williams in Milwaukee this week. So this is a big series for them too. Milwaukee is playing very well, and Devin Williams at the back of that bullpen is very, very difficult, which with his airbender. Now, here's my question for you on him.
Yes.
Can we get him to jump on the Blue Review with us just for a moment?
That's not actually outside of the realm of possibility. Let me ask him.
That's what I'm saying.
Separately, though, what's interesting about this is that the reason why Devin is the closer in Milwaukee now is because Josh Hader was traded to the Padres a couple seasons ago. So it's funny to think that you're facing two guys that were on the same squad, one who might be better now than the previous one was now in terms of what their stuff is. The Brewers are a good team. The Brewers are a team that if you think you're doing anything, you've got to at least compete with. You can't say, okay, well, we beat the Padres on the road in their place. We're looking forward to the series, which is coming up, the series after the Brewers, to facing them again to assert whatever NL West dominance. Well, the Brewers are right there, and you're on the road. So this is an important series in that regard. Also because, and this is the last thing I want to get to, well, Tony Gonsolin started. The entire reason why I was saying that the Dodgers series was more important, Padres series was more important for the Dodgers because of all the moves they made to try to make sure that their best pitchers played against the Padres. Well, now you've got Gonsolin against the Brewers. What are you going to get out of him, and what are you looking for today from Tony?
I want to see the same thing that he has been doing. I want his pitch count to come down. I want him to start using less pitches to get guys out. Don't get so deep into counts that he has been doing. Keep guys off the bases through the walk. If you want to get a couple strikeouts, I want to see 6 innings, 75 pitches. I think that would be perfect for him. Whether he's going to give up a couple runs, but that's not really his MO. He gets guys on bases and he has people there, but he always gets out of it. So the more you see of that, the better. I think I just want to see those pitch counts start to drop so he can go later into games than 4 or 5 innings.
Also, lastly, viewers of Blue Review, if you want to check out or learn something about Devin Williams, I've written about him a couple times. So just Google my name and his, and you'll find out his life story. Pretty simple.
Perfect. All right, for the Blue Review, Big CY, Greg Bergman, we'll see you tomorrow on the Blue Review. Thanks again to LAX.